So hey everyone, just a quick one. I'm going without my notes a little bit today because um my mouse for some reason has stopped doing like the drag and drop reliably. So it's kind of hard slash annoying to try and move windows to one side or the other. Um, but I'm hoping a new mouse will fix it. I tried a couple of things like uninstalling the driver, restarting the machine, and a few other fixes it recommends. I'm a little afraid to do any of the ones that involve going into the command prompts. I'm hoping I don't need to do that, but given the fact that it seemed like when I pulled out the dongle and plugged it back in, that it seemed to fix it a little bit, that maybe it's just something to do with this particular mouse. So we'll see. I've ordered another one. We'll give it a shot, and if it doesn't, I guess I'll keep troubleshooting. But one thing I did want to mention is that apparently I've discovered, or it's come to my attention, that the Texas legislature is currently considering for one of its priorities for next year trying to ban halal food, which they can't do because I think that's unconstitutional. And I mean, just listening to them discuss it, it's clear that they don't understand what it is or what halal means. I mean, to my awareness, it's just a different way of preparing the food so that it's acceptable for Muslims to eat it. And it's just like it's not anything special. It's not anything weird. It's just it's no different than like kosher food or something. And I'm trying to be, uh, I mean, I just don't understand. It's like it's just with all the focus that the Texas legislature seems to be focusing on the Muslim population, which is like 1% of the population of Texas, and the LGBTQ community, which is also 1% of the population of Texas. It seems like maybe what they should be doing is focusing on the data centers that are, sucking up power and water, that the immigration issues that are causing the construction industry in South Texas to collapse, problems that are all being caused by policies of the current administration. And it's like I don't want to get any more political than I have to right now, especially because it's the blog. But it just if people just spent half of the energy they are focusing on trying to control other people and just actually dealt with the problems that are affecting 100% of Texans, then maybe you would actually get something done. But I just kind of wanted to bring that up just because I think I mean, regardless of where in the political spectrum you fall, it just seems it's ridiculous. It's like focus on what what your constituents have sent you here to do, and representative government is supposed to provide services to the people and take care of us, all of us, and I don't know. It just, I mean, one of the reasons I don't generally do political content is because, for one thing, it's requires a lot of research, requires a lot of knowing what you're talking about, which I know that there's plenty of people that don't, but I also don't want to spend my energy and my time ranting at the camera, and also particularly because I don't think my audience is that large. I really don't want to, I mean, I don't think I have the reach that some folks that are much better at this sort of thing than I am could do. But I do just want to mention it just because I think that it's just indicative of part of the problem of the Republican Party in general right now. It's like they're focusing on the wrong things, they're focusing on the wrong places, and I don't know how many times that we have to see that a lot of the policies that they're trying to enact aren't beneficial to anyone, not their constituents or anybody else. It's not making sense. I mean, but anyway, I don't want to focus on that for any longer than I have to. So, moving on to other things. Writing, I am working on the Winterfall series right now. I'm kind of bouncing among the projects because that's where my focus is at this particular moment. Um, I've been trying to work on Winterfall 4, and I've had a couple of false starts trying to work on the prequel because striking the right tone and hitting exactly the right balance so that all of this makes sense. Even though I had an outline, is a little bit tricky because there's certain a certain point that I want to hit, and at least with my early attempts, I mean, I've come across some scenes that I really like, and there's some bits that just I need to get it all to flow so that it fits in the way that I want it to. So it's taking a little bit more time than I had expected. But I will say that I think that I just need to keep at it. And that being said, I was hoping to be able to complete a project to submit to the Mertales anthology from TF Publishing, but I just really don't think I'm going to have time at this point because I was working on it and it just wasn't flowing and it was kind of frustrating me. And, I mean, I was trying to find something that I felt fit the brief or even just to finish a story that even if it doesn't fit Mertales, that I could have released it at some point. And it's like no matter how many times I tried, no matter how many different ways I tried to approach it, it just kept on not working for me. And to that end, I decided that it was just something that I just needed to drop for the time being. I mean, perhaps if I had started earlier, or maybe if, like with the Morning After anthology, if I had had an idea that clicked, I would have felt better about continuing it. But it just wasn't working, and I just decided that my time was better spent on projects that I knew were going to work. So that being said, I had to put that aside and just drop it for the time being, possibly permanently, I don't know, but for the time being, that particular effort is being shelved, and I'm focusing my attention on working on the latter winter fall entries and seeing exactly how far I can get with some of these before I switch gears to something else, perhaps. But my current effort is just I'm trying to edit Winterfall 2. I'm trying to work on a bunch of other things. And I mean, my goal right now is to hopefully be on track to release. Uh, my next release is going to be the Blue Moon Anthology, which will come out sometime hopefully during October. Uh, when is question marky? Probably towards the end of the month, just so I have the most possible time to work on it. I'm planning on releasing, Vanguard is on track to be released in a couple weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks at this point. July 8th is the official release date. So there's that. I'm working on the editing for Winterfall 2 to hopefully be able to release that sometime in January, which I guess means I need to start thinking about a cover artist. Um, and then beyond that, we will see what happens because the next guaranteed release that I have planned is going to be a re-release of Blue Moon, which is going to be next October, and Winterfall Anthology probably at this point sometime next winter. We'll see exactly what I end up doing with it or not. I might release it in December. I might wait until January, but I mean, I'll probably release it in December. I mean, we'll see because it's a lot of time here between here and then. But kind of one of I do want to kind of at least at some point release 3 titles in the same year. I don't know if that really makes any sense, but it's just I don't know, one thing at a time. I was originally going to do that this year, but then it was just like, yeah, no, I don't. I want to have Winterfall 2 be out in January so that it has the maximum time for to build an audience for furry awards season. And I mean maybe that's a shallow reason, but it's what it is. That and also I just don't really want to push to get it out sooner. I mean the whole there's so much stress already going on in the world that I'm trying to at least keep this to be something that gives me strength and gives me fulfillment. So that being said, obviously as I get to things, I will announce whenever I have things nailed down. But until then, there's steady progress, and I intend to continue working on things. Um, as far as videos, obviously I'm doing a vlog. I'm going to work a little bit more on the anthology review for Tales from the Guild. I think that's all I have on the queue right now, so maybe I'll finish early today. I don't know, but if I do, I don't know what I'm going to spend the time doing. I do also want to give a shout out to Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. I think it's important, particularly right now with the attacks on everybody's civil rights, that we acknowledge Juneteenth and that it be celebrated as widely as possible, along with Pride Month, because I mean it's as I said earlier, it's just it frustrates me that people are that certain people are trying to push down anything that's different, and it's just like, so many of these things, they don't affect you. They will never affect you. I mean, it's just I don't understand why people, are devoting their energy to people that they will probably never associate with, probably never meet, and could just leave well enough alone. Um, but that's that for the time being anyway. I mean, at some point I may end up making videos about, some things that, I feel like I want to get off my chest that are just videos in themselves so that you can, of course, watch them or not. But I don't know. I mean, I keep always kind of just, I'm, but that being said, books I'm reading, I'm still reading the same 7 books right now. I mean, it's a lot of books and, I mean, I read a chapter at a time and there's still a lot to go, but it looks like I hopefully will finish Sue Aiken's North of Ordinary soon. I'm getting to the 3/4 mark on Trader by Jay Coates, so hopefully I'll finish something relatively soon and add it to the next batch of reviews. But for the time being, I'm working on it. I really want, as soon as possible, to get to Tethers Torn by Utunu. I want to get to the next book in that trilogy of rookies that I was reading. And I also want to start in the morning after, and those are all like high priorities to get to. So as soon as slots are available, I will be working on reading those. Um, let's see. Games, it's like there's always games to play, so much to play, so little time. So I'm trying to work on finishing and narrowing down some Trails games. I want to play some more of the Final Fantasy remakes now that I went and bought them on PC. I want to try and finish. I still need to finish my replay of Changeling Tale. I need to finish my replay of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I started Frostpunk 2. I still need to actually pay attention to that. And Final Fantasy Tactics. It's like I have so many games to play, and it's just like there's just not enough time. Um, but I guess that's it for now. I do need to make plans to release another story on Patreon, and then of course in turn to the Voice of Dog and FA and such. So that'll probably be something coming soon. But fingers crossed. I'm apologize for my lack of consistency. I was planning on trying to have follow a schedule, but it's just like right now. I mean, just in general, following. Thank God for scheduling YouTube videos because otherwise I probably would be terrible about it. But at least, and I know I can schedule like Patreon stuff and I can get things in on Voice of Dog in advance. But it's always a challenge. It's a challenge enough to finish the pieces, never mind to get them scheduled and released. And it's all stuff that I do want to get released, but I also like having a buffer. But anyway, that's it for now. So happy Juneteenth, happy Pride, and hang in there. If you like post-apocalyptic fiction, polar bears, and adventure, check out my newest release, Winterfall, available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. And don't forget about my werewolf novel, Blue Moon. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, click the subscribe button and leave a comment below. See you next time.